Welcome back to Aviation India, the channel where we explore the most fascinating and surprising stories in aviation. Today we bring you a reality check. 5 planes you can buy, but can't afford to maintain. These aircraft are tempting. Impressive performance, low use prices, and a glamorous reputation. But what you save at purchase, you'll pay back in fuel, hangars, and mechanic bills. Let's take a look at the dream machines that often turn into financial nightmares. Piper Cheyenne 3. At first glance, the Piper Cheyenne 3 seems like an incredible deal. This twin turboprop offers speeds of up to 310 knots and a range of more than 1,500 nautical miles. For under $1 million in the used market, you're basically getting jet-like performance at turboprop prices. But here's the problem. The Cheyenne 3 comes with Pratt & Whitney PT6, a 41 engines that cost a fortune to overhaul. You can easily spend $400,000 per engine for a full overhaul. Add to that a pressurized fuselage that requires constant attention and avionics upgrades that don't come cheap, and you'll quickly realize why many owners say this plane eats you alive financially. And there's more. The Cheyenne 3 burns nearly 100 gallons per hour, making it one of the thirstiest turboprops in its class. Owners often underestimate the ongoing inspection schedules, particularly for the landing gear and propeller systems, which are notoriously expensive. Even the insurance companies classify this aircraft in a high-risk category due to its complex systems and limited pilot pool. For pilots, it's a fantastic machine, but for the owner's wallet, it's a nightmare. Cessna 421 Golden Eagle. The Cessna 421 is one of the most elegant piston twins ever built, with its pressurized cabin, quiet ride, and 400 horsepower engines. It can cruise at nearly 240 knots while carrying up to 7 people in comfort. Sounds like the perfect family or business aircraft, right? Well, until you get the maintenance bills. The geared, turbocharged Continental engines are notorious for expensive overhauls, pushing $70,000 to $80,000 each. Add frequent turbocharger problems, costly avionics, and insurance premiums that scare away most buyers, and you quickly understand why so many 421s end up sitting abandoned in hangars. On top of that, the 421 requires extremely careful engine management to avoid premature wear, something not every pilot masters. Its cabin comfort comes with a price. The pressurization system is known for leaks and expensive repairs. Fuel burn? Expect around 60 gallons per hour, which adds up very quickly on cross-country trips. In fact, many mechanics call it the Dr. Killer of twins, not because it's unsafe, but because it bankrupts professionals who thought they were buying a bargain. Beachcraft Duke. The Duke is beautiful, powerful, and fast. With its sleek lines and turbocharged engines, it was once seen as a mini executive jet. Owners loved its performance. Cruise speeds over 230 knots and a pressurized cabin for high-altitude comfort. But the reality? The Duke's engines are maintenance nightmares, with extremely high operating costs and short time between overhauls. Parts are becoming harder to find, and mechanics familiar with this airplane are rarer each year. What looked like an affordable step in a luxury aviation often becomes a bottomless money pit. The Duke is also one of the few piston aircraft that burns fuel at jet-like levels, consuming nearly 50 gallons per hour. Add to that notoriously heavy handling and a reputation for electrical system gremlins, and you start to see why it's more admired at air shows than at maintenance shops. Even with its cult following, most Dukes that appear on the market sit for months because potential buyers know what's waiting on the other side of that bargain. Piper Malibu, early models. The Malibu is an airplane that promised everything: pressurization, comfort for the family, and cross-country performance of 200 knots with excellent efficiency. Early models can even be found at relatively low prices compared to newer turboprops. But here's the truth. Those early Malibus came with Teledyne Continental engines that had serious reliability issues, especially at higher altitudes. Combine that with complex pressurization systems and avionics that constantly need upgrading, and you get an airplane that looks great on paper but can be a financial trap in practice. It's no coincidence that many buyers sell after just a few years of ownership. Even when the engine is performing, Malibu owners face annual inspections that can top $25,000. Corrosion in the fuselage and wing spar areas is a recurring issue, especially for older models. And if you want to modernize its avionics to match today's IFR environment, be prepared to invest another $100,000 or more. Many pilots dream of stepping up into a Malibu, but the reality is, unless you have deep pockets, this dream airplane quickly becomes a maintenance marathon. What makes it worse is that insurance premiums for Malibus are among the highest in the piston single category, due to their accident history tied to engine failures. Pilots love the comfort and long-range efficiency, but most underestimate just how fragile and expensive early versions can be. Rockwell Commander 690. This is a powerful turboprop with rugged looks and a reputation for solid performance. Capable of carrying heavy payloads and operating in tough conditions, it's an attractive option for pilots who want more than just a weekend flyer. But here's the catch. Maintaining a Commander 690 is like maintaining a corporate jet. Its Garrett TP331 engines are efficient, but extremely expensive to overhaul, and their hot section inspections come more frequently than owners expect. Add to that a complicated electrical system and aging airframes that require constant work, and you'll soon realize why many mechanics roll their eyes when a Commander 690 enters the hangar. Its operating costs can exceed $1,200 per flight hour, rivaling some small jets. The landing gear system has a reputation for being maintenance-intensive, and its cabin pressurization requires specialized work. Insurance brokers also raise premiums on Commanders due to limited part supply. In short, while pilots rave about its performance, owners often joke that this aircraft should come with a personal mechanic living on board. To make matters even harder, many Commanders on the used market today require massive avionics upgrades to remain compliant with modern regulations, which can add another $200,000 to ownership costs. Add fuel burns of nearly 95 gallons per hour and the need for specialized technicians familiar with this model, and you're looking at one of the most expensive turboprops to actually keep flying. These were 5 planes you can buy, but can't afford to maintain. They look tempting with their speed, range, and comfort, but the real challenge begins after the purchase. Owning an aircraft isn't just about the price tag. It's about the never-ending costs of maintenance, fuel, insurance, and spare parts. For many, what starts as a dream quickly turns into a financial burden. So tell me, would you still take the risk with one of these, or would you rather avoid the headache?